all across America. There is a community of people who love to play the sport of darts. They play in bars, taverns, and fraternal clubs, in leagues where they compete to make it to the annual Tournament of Champions. Partners Promoting Darts, or the PPD, is the sanctioning body which hosts the nation's biggest tournament, with payouts far exceeding anything else in North America. At the T.O.C., nearly $1 million in prize money is available, and the players of the PPD are all trying to take it home. One sanctioning body, one tournament, nearly $1 million. Welcome to the world of soft-tip darts. Welcome to Darts Nation.
Hi, I'm Mike Maloney from Joliet, Illinois. I play remote leagues for the PPD. Come on, baby! All the guys I played basketball with, once they turned 21, we all started heading into the bar after parks would close. A lot of guys playing for money games, playing for fun, but got to win to stay on the board. Started getting addicting. You know, bars would close. They were good friends with the owners, so they'd shut the blinds, shut the gates, and we'd play till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Just kind of became an addiction at that point. You know, started getting good, realizing you can hit more than one bull around. Got fun then, you know. I think I've done my part to put myself in that level to be looked at as one of the top players. It is it's humbling to say the least in the aspect of playing darts in the bar from day one, and then in your league the next year, and then to get on the traveling circuit and play the guys who you've only heard about, and you know, this guy's unbeatable and this guy wins everything, and it's fun to meet these guys. It's fun to become friends, and I think that's a big part of the game now too. Anywhere you want to go, of course, you want to win big. Whether it's the recognition, the feeling you get from beating other players, or just winning at anything. Winning the game of Monopoly is fun, but when you're putting money on the line like that, things become a little more edgy, a little more, and if you're throwing well, very fun, especially when you know what's at the end of the tunnel there. Put a little change in your pocket, get people to notice you. Hey man, that guy won X amount of dollars. That's what people are going to remember in the beginning, especially. You know, that guy won this much money. That's what I want. This is my fiance, Becky Maskill, soon to be Maloney.
Probably.
We've known each other for quite a few years now. We've known each other back when she was in high school. We just kind of rekindled about 4 years ago through Facebook, and didn't really start out as anything. We just kind of hung out and played darts in the bar 7 days a week.
Not we.
Well, I played darts. She was always going along and having no problem coming out, having fun with friends, meeting everybody that I was hanging out with. She's very supportive in that aspect.
When I first met Mike, he was playing darts 7 days a week, nonstop, and what I love is he'll pretty much kind of do anything that makes me happy. Anybody can be one of the best. Put your time in, put your efforts in. It's really anyone's game. No matter where you come from, what you do, anybody's game here. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, male, female. I think you should go get it. Put your time in and chase that money.
Hi, I'm Jenn Mounts. I'm from Lakewood, Washington, and I play in the PPD. I got into darts essentially trying to salvage my mother's business. She had owned a bar in South Tacoma Way, and we were slacking, and so I learned to play darts when I was 21 in order to bring business to the bar, and we essentially just kind of fell in love with darts in that way. And it totally worked. I mean, just having a couple of teams in on a Monday through Thursday created a little bit of business, you know, a little bit of space to get people interested and want to come in and see what the commotion was, because we were very rowdy, very, very novice players. We had no idea, you know, sportsmanship, what strategy was. I want to get an entire generation of new blood, new players, and more women to get into this sport and make it sexy, because it could be a sexy sport is the funny thing. I'm certainly not the most seasoned player. I'm obviously a rookie, been playing for 2 years, but that kind of doesn't matter because all that I really care about is getting people excited about the sport. All right, so this is probably the most important part of the room. It's our practice room, and we have set it up specifically for kind of the way we want to practice, which is really important because you'd be surprised the amount of dart players that don't have their own practice routine. So we keep a box light and just direct it straight to the board. So we'll set that up, and we even have a mirror here to look at our form. That's how nerdy and technical we are. So we're always watching our mechanics and making sure everything looks right. It's not like a vain thing, it's to get better. And these trophies, originally, they weren't set up like this at all. I've never done anything like that. Definitely a millennial, and there's that whole participation trophy kind of stereotype. So to amuse myself, I put everything up, and these aren't definitely not participation trophies. They were won in competition. The graphics business got to tie into my love for darts. The very original thing that I think made people think of me as an actual graphic artist was my original profile picture. It was this idea of like throwing a dart. And so I got millions and millions of questions about this. It's interesting because this kind of idea, like this doesn't exist in the dart world at all. It's such a simple thing, like simple marketing and making something that is a really, really cool thing to do, which is play darts, actually seem like it to other people. So I never thought that I would ever do anything like this. And it's really incredible because I get to not only understand what people are talking about in the dart world, but be able to offer them something that they've never seen before and get to represent themselves in a different way. What a cool investment, because I get to do exactly what I love for the people that I love, for the sport that I love, and get to integrate all of my hobbies into the same thing. Maybe there needs to be a little bit better of a balance, but I can't help it. It just makes me too happy to try to kind of do this like impossible thing, which is make darts more inclusive to women and minorities, which I think would be really interesting for our sport.
Coming up on Darts Nation.
They got us, they got us. Oh, I didn't jump.
Come on, Mike. We're at Harry's in Countryside, one of the many locations that is qualified, I guess you could say, for the PPD. We play all the remote leagues to play people across the country. We're also trying to get into that big finale. It's kind of my home. I make it my own back here. I've always had a high drive for competition. I always wanted to be the best player in any room or in any bar or whatever. So now the darts, it's alongside of the money. Darts has brought me to a lot of great friends that I now have. Two of them which are standing up in my wedding coming up. That's why I don't think that I can really ever step away. Good games or bad games, good days or bad days. I want to keep all those friends around, and hopefully they like having me around. So anybody who's not playing or not playing T.O.C. specifically, you should definitely get into it. It's for all levels. You can play out of any home bar as long as they're T.O.C. sanctioned, and get your games in, get to the T.O.C. Even if you don't think you're ready to make that big money, there's a couple $100 to be won for you. I would say upwards in the thousands if you can learn to have fun with the game. Like I said, there's a level for everybody. Somebody's got to come out on top. Why not let it be you? So last year's T.O.C. was my first year. It was very good for me. I played well. I came in, got a pretty good partner in the finale to chase that $20,000 first place. And we played Dennis Sandin and Rob Talbot. And I want to say it was the top four in the winner's side, and they ended up getting us. That was the eventual winners. But I'm happy with the way I played overall. I'm hoping I can go in there this year coming up and get into that same groove and keep those finals appearances showing up, and hopefully I come on that day. I have Sunday the $50,000 mixed invitational, and
Obviously, if I have 2 qualifiers. If I make it into the finale on Wednesday, hopefully I can come home with that cash check too. So there's a lot of money to be won. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you there.
We are at All Seasons Sports Bar. This is my home bar where I play darts. The main reason why I come here is to qualify for Kansas City. You have to shoot in leagues on these dart boards and get a certain amount of points to be able to go to the tournament. Also, this is where my family is, so not everyone has a home bar, but for me in particular, it's where I feel most comfortable and welcome. Well, the T.O.C. is unique in itself that you're just playing darts, you're just playing, and once this event's over, you're starting the next one. That is something that I've just been craving for so long. I love that professional kind of aspect of it. It's very rare that you have the potential to make not only thousands of dollars, but up to $20,000 in one event. And if you work hard to qualify for not only the finale, but the mixed invitational, you have the chance to make about $45,000, I think. So it's just insane. It's life-altering. I mean, that's something that you can't really plan for. It's really hard to just kind of train yourself to be prepared for that moment. So you want to put in as much work as you absolutely can to make your life easier once you're there. One other thing I just want to relate to people that don't play darts. As you're looking into this world, you're thinking like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, like I want to travel the world and play dart players and test my skill. It's something that pretty much anyone can do. There's glory and opportunity. Like, that's all true in a sense. But I think the thing that people always miss out on and forget to mention is like the sense of community. Like, this community changed my life. And it was the last thing that I thought I would care about coming into darts. And it's been the most important thing that keeps me interested in it is the people. And I would just like to be at least a person that paves the way to get more people, new people like you watching, interested in that, and hopefully kind of like developing a group of people that can influence change.
Coming up on Darts Nation.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Partners, 50K.
Right here?
We're going for the gold. In the gold.
The best darts players in America descend on the KCI Expo Center in Kansas City, Missouri for their chance at nearly $1 million in prize money the week of the Tournament of Champions. Mike Maloney and Jenn Mounts are no different, and while the old guard is still represented well, Mike and Jenn are perhaps just a couple of the faces who are the future of darts. Strong on social media, young and full of drive, the two represent the direction darts may be headed. First up for the two is the Gold MDI, a tournament matching 64 of the best men's and women's players in the country into teams of two, where they vie for the title and $50,000 in prize money. Mike has his number in the blind draw and now awaits to find out who his partner is.
$50,000 is a lot of money, so I'm hoping I can get somebody who we can work together. You know, it's a big chemistry's going to be a big thing tomorrow.
He is not disappointed.
Come on, girl!
Are you serious?
Come on, girl!
Jenn, coming in from Seattle, misses the draw, so members of the PPD draw on her behalf.
So Jenn Mounts has not made it in from Seattle yet, and we drew a chip for her, and her partner is going to be Mark Wiegman. Good luck, Jenn!
Today is for getting to know your partner and getting loose. Tomorrow, the competition begins. First up is Mike and Carolyn, and as they had hoped, knowing each other helps them to a hot start as they win their first two matches. Meanwhile, on the other side of the arena, Jenn and her partner, Mark Wiegman, get out of the gate slow, losing in their first match. The T.O.C. tournaments are all triple elimination, but losing in the first match means there is little room for error the rest of the way out. After a blazing start, the same fate visits Mike and Carolyn.
That's all right.
Still
We
got two
shoot more,
brackets.
and we're going to come back.
Played Don Stewart, and I want to say it's Kim Baxter. Did not bring my A game. Don's going to powerhouse you, and we're both going to have to pick up our games. We're a little sluggish, so let's give it a go.
Jenn and Mark get a couple of wins under their belt after stumbling out of the gate. and appear to be coming together. Mike and Carolyn get back to winning in their bracket, rolling off 3 consecutive match wins after their initial loss in order to face Dennis Sandin and Sandra Erdman, who are also playing very well.
Unfortunately, darts are not where I want them to be today. A couple good matches here and there, but every time I think it's on the rise, they fall right back down. We got to play some much better darts if I want to get through anybody. So hopefully it works in my favor.
After their second match loss, Jenn and Mark are now down to their final strike. From here on out, it's one game of cricket with no safety net. You lose, and you're out.
We lasted a little while, a couple matches, and just lost to Eric Gregory and his partner Rachel. So now we're in the losers, the last chance bracket. It is one game of cricket, so you just cork and go. It's do or die. So that's what we're about to start right now.
In their first last chance match, Jenn and Mark win a close game against James Henninger and Margaret Himsath, but find round 13 an unlucky number as they are eliminated from contention against Jason Barlow and Missy Lauren.
It happens, you have an off game at some point. It's devastating to just have that one game to only show your chance to stay in.
Carolyn and Mike also find themselves in the last chance bracket after their loss to Dennis and Sandra. So far, the pressure hasn't gotten to them as they have staved off elimination with back-to-back wins. And now they find themselves in a rematch with Sandin and Erdman for the right to play in the championship.
Very unfortunate loss. I'm not very happy where my darts were at there at all. We had a lot of fun. I think, they say don't play for the money, but when the money's laid out on the table, now we're one leg away from guaranteeing at least $5,000 and the possible $25,000 apiece. It's a reality that sets in, and people say, clear it out of your mind, but at a certain point when you got the couple game chances there to maybe take some easy rounds, it definitely is going to weigh on you here and there. So it's an unfortunate loss in the position we're in, but I'd throw it all the time, man.
Mike and Carolyn don't reach their goal, but they were a good team, and there's no shame in a third-place finish. Jenn and Mark never really gelled and finished in the middle of the pack at 15th through 16th place. Now both competitors must clear their minds and reset for the finales and their last chance at taking home big money. Coming up on Darts Nation.
Finale day, the biggest day of the week. $200,000, actually closer to $300,000 in prize money going out today.
New days at the T.O.C. bring new opportunities as the big events with big money loom large in everyone's minds. But finale day is the biggest day for payouts, as nearly $250,000 will be handed out, with the biggest prize being $20,000 each to the men's and women's champions. Mike and Jenn have their partners and are ready to make a run. Mike and his partner Jason Immel are first to hit the boards, and they do so strongly, winning 4 consecutive games in 2 matches.
Darts are flying all right today. A little sluggish out the gate as usual, but it's looking good, looking up.
Jenn is partnered with Don Hoy, and they too start well, winning their first match in a race to 2 with wins in 501 and cricket. Their second match, however, finds them on the losing side and pushes them to the loser's bracket. Jenn, once again, must forge ahead with an early loss. After the loss in their second match, Jenn and Don find solid footing again with a win in their third match, but stumble again in match 4, pushing them into the last chance bracket. In this bracket during the finale, 1 game of 701 is played. The winner moves on, and the loser heads home.
We just got pummeled by 2 pretty great players. So it is what it is. Everyone's dying to change their lives. This is really big money. There's no more strategy, there's no nerves, it's just a rhythm, and you just have to come out, win the cork, and destroy. So that's our plan for right now. We're hoping to come all the way back. We'll probably have to win like 17 matches in a row, but it's possible. Anything's possible.
In Mike and Jason's next match, things go sideways badly as they are swept in a race to 2 and dealt their first match loss. Again, the tournament is triple elimination, but coming back from an early loss really hurts, and Mike knows it.
heading over to board 6 to play. We're in the middle bracket. Not really sure where we're sitting. I know we're in the one-loss category, so me and Jason are going to try to put in some work and hopefully come out as the victors in the middle bracket.
Just like Jenn and Don, Mike and Jason rebound nicely from their first match loss with a win in their 4th match, but unbelievably lose in their 5th match by an opponent who hit incredible shots to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
An unfortunate white horse was hit against me to win the middle bracket. I thought that was a pretty locked up leg, but 2 rounds later I was proven wrong.
Mike and Jason find themselves in the last chance bracket now against good friend Nate Borland and Brad Baxter.
Unfortunately, we are out of the tournament. All 3 brackets done. Becky misses me, I hope, because I'm missing her. So, I'll go home and get some more wedding stuff done, get some more planning done, and now I got a pad on my own bank account now instead of yours, or T.O.C.
The loss, though disappointing, is good for a 17th through 18th place finish and $1,000 in prize money.
I had 2 good draws in Carolyn Nessman and Jason Mel for the finales, but I'll be back next year and put another good week of work in.
Always a pleasure, man.
She will.
Thanks, man.
When the pressure is at its highest is when the room for error is razor thin. And just like Mike and Jason, Jenn and Don can't walk the tightrope back to the winning side of things, falling in their last chance match. For Jenn, things don't go as well as they should have, and she knows it, as her team finishes 33rd through 36th place, taking home $1,000.
Our plan is to come back next year even stronger and see you guys at the 2017 T.O.C.
In the end, there can only be one winning team, and when it's not your team, it hurts. Both Mike and Jenn don't walk away from the T.O.C. with the hardware they wanted, but both take home some money. For Mike, he can call Becky and let her know he's coming home with $2,055 for their upcoming wedding. And Jenn walks away with $720, enough to keep her goal of bringing darts to the masses, one throw at a time, alive.